Recent rash of slashings and stabbings in the city seem to have many people on edge. According to NYPD statistics, so far there have been 609 stabbings or slashings in the 5 boroughs, a 21% increase over the same period last year. Just Friday morning, a 60-year-old man was attacked after he accidentally bumped into another man while getting on the train. That happened inside the 57th Street and 7th Avenue station in Midtown. The violent acts of crime have taken place mostly on the subways, but also to innocent bystanders walking down the street, even someone inside a restaurant. So what should you do if you find yourself in that situation? Edwin Pantoja, a 28-year law enforcement veteran, and Cesar Oliveria with Force Effects Training are here with some useful tips for us all. Thank you so much for coming in. It's kind of unfortunate that we even have to talk about this. But Edwin, I want to start with you. You know, this latest incident happened when 2 people bumped into each other on the train. That happens all the time. Are there red flags you can sort of look out for to identify someone who might act erratically?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, you have an individual that appears to be intoxicated, someone may be under the influence of some sort of drug, or the person's just behaving in a manner that, creates concern of some kind, and you should look to create distance and space with that person.
And what if you can identify that person? In some of these instances, people are sleeping when it happens, or they're just walking down the street and someone comes out of nowhere. So what's your advice for that?
Right. As I understand, NYPD and other agencies have stepped up patrol. However, of course, law enforcement can't be everywhere. So you need to be prepared. You need to be aware of your surroundings, not be glued to a phone, avoid trying to, falling asleep on the train, so you can be in a better position to protect and defend yourself and escape that situation.
I know one of the things the NYPD is doing is actually waking up passengers who are asleep on the train. Now, if you do all these things the right way, you try to diffuse a situation that maybe seems like it's escalating and it doesn't work. Cesar, what do you do at that point? If someone is coming after you physically, or they've already slashed you, what do you do? Do you fight back?
You have to fight back. You want to fight back. You don't want to be a victim. You want to obviously give yourself a reactionary gap, and typically what we like to teach everybody is to have a 3-foot distance between you and your opponent. This way you have some kind of evasive action, space to do some kind of evasive action. Give you a perfect example, because typically from the slashings that we have seen or heard about, that they're occurring from the ear to the jaw. So that's typically a roundhouse style punch. So basically what we want to do is you want to move into that strike, into that attack. You want to actually attack the strike and attack the eyeballs, eyes, throat, groin, shin, and that's going to give you enough opportunity to escape. So if he does that, I'm going to attack the eyes, I'm going to attack the groin, and that's going to give me enough time to leave the area.
And you say most people are right-handed, so you want to look out for that right hand coming at you.
That's correct. Typically the population is 90% right-handed, so good chances are that the attack is going to come from the opponent's right side.
And then if you're an innocent bystander in all of this, what do? Do you jump in to help, and how can you do that in a safe manner?
Of course, like I always say, it depends on the circumstance. Obviously, if the person that's being attacked caused the situation, then I'd be a little more reluctant to get involved. But what's happening a lot now, we discuss and we see a lot, is people videotaping instead of either contacting the authorities or getting involved in helping, and absolutely you should help.
And Cesar, how do you go about doing that without getting yourself hurt as well?
Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to prepare yourself mentally, and I think that's very important, because if you're not thinking about what you're going to do to help somebody, then you're really not going to do anything. It might catch you off guard. So you want to be mentally prepared and say, okay, will I be able to push somebody? Will I be able to grab somebody out of the way? What can I do mentally to help somebody else? And then it doesn't take much to call the police. It doesn't take much to push somebody, tackle somebody away from somebody else, or grab someone out of the area.
So kind of visualize it in your head before you go ahead and execute on that.
Absolutely.
And videotaping can be helpful, of course, in catching these suspects, but you always want to see people also helping one another in a more direct way, right? Well, thank you guys so much for being on. It's so helpful. Again, unfortunate that we even have to discuss it, but we do have more tips. So for more information on all of this, you can head to our website, cbsnewyork.com.